So, tech vibes, boys. Now, I'm sure we're all aware of the tech girl boss day in the life clips. Remember these? Which just like I got up,
Oh, yeah.
I went to the gym, I had coffee, then I went home and slept. Good
Yes.
job, nice life.
No,
Um,
no, no. I was in 2 meetings, a morning meeting and an afternoon meeting.
yeah,
I get paid $75,000 a year.
and those vibes seem to have probably died,
Oh,
and
good.
like fully. And I thought it'd be nice to do a sort of return to tradition in going back and checking out what happened in that sphere. And we'll start off with just this being the news about Twitter, of course, the biggest business story of the year.
Yeah.
As the Washington Post put, Elon Musk fired Twitter staff and broke nothing. That was 80% of the Twitter staff,
Yeah.
which sort of gives you a metric for how much a lot of these places obviously do not need the people they have. I mean, it's comical in the case of Twitter
Yeah.
because they're all activists. But recently, there's been a lot of layoffs, and not a small amount either in the tech sector. So this is Twitch is cutting 35% of its staff. The given reason because they're not profitable.
Yeah.
They're just after 9 years, Amazon's acquisition of the company, the business remains unprofitable.
Just as a quick aside here, that people might be wondering, well, how do these businesses exist? And that's investor capital. So they got God only knows how much money, and they decided to employ a bunch of middle class white women to have meetings all day, and then they realized that they're not making any profit.
I mean, in the case of Twitch, I mean, there's specific circumstances in all of these. Like Twitter was full of activists.
Yeah.
Twitch is probably full of like perverts.
It's
So,
probably
just saying, there's accusations in all of this. Google as well. They're laying off 1,000 workers.
yeah.
That's just in. So there we are. That's small fries. Who cares? And it turns out this is a proper industry wide thing. And you may remember, well, last year this was an industry wide thing. The tech sector fell off a cliff after the COVID lockdowns ended.
Yeah.
Massive layoffs. And now this year they've started the year again with massive layoffs. I was like, huh. Slash it. Like 80% seems to be the well level you can get to.
Yeah.
The news in here,
Pareto principle proven correct again.
yeah. I mean, in here, they have Twitch, they have Amazon here, who said they're also getting rid of several hundred employees, specifically around Prime
Yeah.
Video and Key. Wednesday, Google said they're letting go of hundreds. Duolingo have decided to get rid of 10% of their contract employees. This is the only one I can find that says the reason is because of AI.
Oh, really?
So AI is taking over those roles.
I love that basically the tech sector is returning to nature. What? No, no,
What
no.
do you mean?
Because this was initially started by guys with very poor posture and blocked sinuses who had very thick glasses and who would just sit there on the computer all day, tap, 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 never speaking to another human being. That's the state of nature for the tech sector. And it's returning to that.
Not influencer girls.
No.
There's actually probably the furthest you could get away
Yeah.
from the origin story of the tech sector.
Yeah. And
I mean-
now all of these people have been proven to be dead weight and they're just being cut. And so it's going to go back to the hunched over nerdy guy with his glasses. Tap, tap.
Yeah, but who's gonna do all the woke stuff?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. I guess they've got the AI for that.
Yeah.
Turns out with a bit of simple
Okay.
programming.
So we're not getting less woke stuff. We're just
No,
gonna
no.
have AI doing it.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
it's a simple algorithm.
Yeah.
I mean, true. I'll have a segment for that in the future. But some AI startup got rid of 4% of its workforce. Discord is firing 17% of its workforce.
Sorry, just a quick aside. Imagine being like, yeah, I'm getting an AI startup. Yeah. What happened? I got replaced by AI.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some. But Discord getting rid of 17% of its staff. I didn't know they had this many people working at Discord. Apparently, it's 170 employees. So they must have 1,000 people working on Discord, which
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot, but it doesn't seem that complicated. But there we are. Well, it isn't. That's why they got rid of 17%.
Hi, folks. Sorry to interrupt the video, but I just wanted to announce that we have a new line of merch in our merch store. The merch store was kind of empty for a while. And so I thought, right, okay, what do I actually want on shirts? And so I just went through some of the most epic and true things that I think that historical people have said. And John managed to make an amazing set of merch out of it. And we will have extra things coming in the store, such as posters for these to go on. Thanks for everything, folks. Now back to the video.
Anyway, there's also Unity. They're getting rid of 1,800 jobs.
Bloody hell.
It's just like, okay.
Surprised they had that many.
Yeah. The whole industry is just being like, yeah, we expanded too much. This needs to be fixed.
Massively bloated.
And one of the funny things I saw from this is this lady does a good breakdown where she's talking about the tech sector. Well, if they're getting rid of all those people who were there for the free goodies and the vibes, maybe the whole company's going to have to change.
Shuts down the Mountain View Childcare Center.
Yes.
That wasn't for the men.
Yeah.
That wasn't for the glassy men. That wasn't for them.
So basically, it's going to be a business that will have to produce money.
No, so basically, it's going to be a business. Yeah.
Instead of a daycare. Well, let's have a listen to this lady, because she's criticizing it, saying that this is the end of that golden age.
Google continues to have layoff after layoff, and this time they're even shutting down their childcare center. They're getting rid of their snacks.
The accent.
Okay, and if you're not an engineer, you have to use a Chromebook.
Oh, no.
Do you know who uses my kids use a Chromebook?
Oh,
We got
no.
them on clearance at Best Buy for $159. Do you remember?
Can you
like, 10
imagine the
years ago,
humiliation?
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody and their mother wanted to go work at Google. This dream, like, oh my gosh,
That's a bit too quiet because we
gym
can't really hear her.
access, you can
But
do
she's
your
whining about
laundry, you
how
can get a massage,
Google
like,
used
you
to be
can
the best
sleep in
place
a
you'd want to work
pod,
because of
and it's
perks
like,
and everything
well,
else.
okay,
Because
not
you weren't
really,
working.
because now
Yeah, and now that's all gone.
Yeah.
In which case, well, it's just a business. So I don't know why this is some kind of shock to the system, but there we are. The perk of tech companies is now over because, well,
Just to be clear, I'm really of the opinion that anyone who's not an engineer is just having meetings, right? And those meetings don't really need to happen. They don't produce money. Just go back to pure engineers,
Well,
like
there's-
Elon did, actually.
yeah, I mean, if you're getting to the point where you can let off 80% of your staff, I mean, you're not dealing with people dealing with the essential aspects. You're dealing with people that, well, taking the piss, frankly. And I mean, we can see it repeatedly. I mean, this lady, you remember she went viral?
I haven't seen this one, but I've seen a bunch of them where they're filming their layoff.
Oh, well, this was that one of them.
Oh.
Where she's just like, a day of my life getting laid off from Google. And this one went mega viral, of course, because people looked at it and started not being very sympathetic.
Yeah.
Most notably because, well, it turned out that she documented her entire time doing this job. I mean, Matt Walsh made a video taking the piss out of her because this is one of her earlier videos
Yeah.
where she does, well, nothing.
Doesn't do any work.
This is in the LA office where she eats snacks, drinks stupid drinks, and enjoys the vibes.
So
How's she going to get inspired?
Great question.
To do what,
guys,
though?
it's 2024 right now. Okay,
Yeah, but-
she's working.
What these women are doing are living kind of like as the perfect ones in the rat utopia. They're like just sat there grooming themselves and living this airy life on top of the cream of what our civilization has to produce. And they just go into meetings. They do nothing. They just talk all day. They produce nothing. They don't innovate anything. They're not creative. They're actually just existing in this perfect world. And you're taking that away from them. Have you considered how cruel that is?
I mean, look, she gets all this nice food.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the fundamental there is that, of course, this is comical, and everyone enjoyed it at the time, being like, well, yeah, okay, I mean, there's someone who deserves to get fired. It's people who literally do no work and get paid handsomely. Because, I mean, these Google people are on, I think, like 80 to 100K, some of them.
Yeah.
Which was just like, okay.
Yeah, but they're petting dogs.
Yeah, I'd love to get that job. But this blew up massively because, of course, I don't know if you remember this LinkedIn girly as well. She was...
Today was one of the meeting that was conveniently canceled right beforehand. I was down. I had to get certified in our new...
this one's not loading. Okay, great.
Yeah.
The internet's dead. But this is the LinkedIn girlie who just does zero as well at LinkedIn and just drinks.
Yeah, we saw loads of them.
So just to remind everyone what this were. I mean, there was the surprise layoff. This one's quite funny. Where she's like, a day in my life. And then she does nothing. And then she gets fired at the end of it. She's like, quick update. I lost my job. So,
What job? What do you do?
and the best part about all of these individuals is they all, of course, are addicted to TikTok, upload everything to TikTok. So we had long records of them doing nothing and then
It's
getting
really
laid
easy
off.
for their bosses. Just like check it. Ah, yeah, she can go.
Caffeine and more work.
But look at the perfect existence. She's just existing for herself, and just it's all about me. Everything's me. Everything, like my life, everything around me is geared to make me comfortable. And this I intended to be my life until the end of time.
Was that her office? Because I see no one else there.
That was her at home after she got fired.
Okay,
I was
okay.
doing the quick update, like, hey guys, I got fired. Don't know what to do.
You don't do anything. You didn't know what to do yesterday.
Yeah, and these people you could point to and say, okay, I literally have your timeline, lass.
Yeah.
You did zero. I mean, the TikTok one, it's a shame we can't play 'cause that is the funniest one, where she spends more time sniffing like napkins than doing work. and she jotted minute by minute what she does. So it's even more obvious. And that was good fun. But with this new round of layoffs, I mean, mass layoffs there, you can see this was the start of 2013, mass layoffs.
Sure.
and the start of 2014 seems to be the same. There's been a few more videos that have popped up. And so this is one.
Yeah.
It's a little bit harder in these cases to figure out what these people did because they didn't upload themselves sipping drinks and sniffing napkins. But I thought we'd have a look and see what you guys
Go
think.
on, yeah.
So this is her getting laid off from Discord.
Today, we are making the unfortunate and difficult decision to reduce the size of Discord's workforce by 17%. This means we are saying goodbye to 170 of our talented colleagues. By 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, everyone will receive an email. In your email, you will learn whether or not your employment has been impacted by this reduction in force. I find out if I'm laid off in 20 minutes. Breakup text through email. Yeah, I got the email. Holy shit, dude. I am laid off. Fuck. Oh my god. Oh, wow. Fuck.
Okay, normal response.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I bet her
I'm
husband
laid
comes in
off.
a second, right?
Holy shit, dude. You need to cancel your day. That's crazy.
There we go,
This is how you
right?
know.
Sorry, just can we pause it, right?
Goodbye.
Look at his face. Look at his face.
Yeah. This is exactly what I'm trying to say. Their entire life is an aesthetic.
Yeah.
Right? It is an aesthetic that they move through. They go, oh, isn't this beautiful? And then you can see the expression on the guy. He's the one who's actually making sure things remain working. Right? For her, this is funny. Oh my God, this is such. I'm going to put a reaction video. She's smiling. It's like, my God, man. If that's like your average husband anywhere in any country, in other words, like we got,
shit.
yeah. It's like, oh my God, how are we going to pay the mortgage? How are the kids going to get fed? Oh my God, this is a really serious thing. For her, it's just like, oh my God, this is just a new arc, of my new era in my story. And it's just like, you're not living a real life.
People who do things like that, they take nothing seriously.
Yeah.
It's
not serious. Someone else is going to do it for her.
other people make reaction videos about movies or listening to songs for the first time. And it's okay, let's just make a video about me losing my job.
Yeah, that's tragic to any man.
I can see the pain on his face as well, though. He's like, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm going to stop paying for her nonsense.
Exactly.
That's exactly what's going through his mind.
Exactly. She's living in this idyllic, like Eden, that she doesn't even realize that other people are propping up. Like, this to her is just a nothing. It's crazy.
Imagine what would happen if people like that ruled the world.
They do. They rule our world by running the tech.
Imagine a dystopia where useless people run society. Oh, it's all the same.
Reaction
Yeah,
video.
nothing's changed.
We're getting invaded. Reaction video. Oh my God.
But I just can't imagine what it's like to live in this kind of idyllic ignorance where just, oh, wow, something's happened. But everyone else will make sure everything's fine for me. I can't even imagine it.
So it's hard to tell because she does upload quite a lot to Twitter and whatnot, but she's not someone who posted like my day of my life where I sit there and do bugger all.
Sure.
So it's hard to tell what exactly she did. But I maybe I'm being a bit rude and mean, but if you were part of the 17% that Discord thought they could get rid of because you're not productive enough, you probably weren't doing that much.
Yeah.
I mean, you weren't essential to the running of Discord. And has anyone noticed Discord, dying recently? Getting better?
Seems the same.
Discord's been the same for years.
Yeah, literally hasn't changed. And I don't want it to change either, just to be clear.
Yeah, like I'm perfectly happy with the service.
And saying that, I did have an aesthetic update on the app recently, which I don't approve of.
But you know, to blame. But the point being, I mean, why do you need 1,000 people running Discord? I'm not really sure why. So getting rid of that 170 people, what were they doing collectively?
I imagine a lot of them were moderators.
Yeah.
Making sure that you weren't saying naughty things in Discord.
Which, I mean, you could just outsource to, people who work for less, because that's how that industry works. But yeah, the responses on this, a lot of people were like, why are you excited?
Yeah.
Why are you happy about this?
Because this isn't going to destroy life. That's why.
Yeah, maybe. Her defense is that she's a happy person. She laughs about stuff. I mean, what are you going to do? Cry? Which, okay.
Well, I mean, some people would, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, your boyfriend definitely is.
Yeah.
I mean, look at his face.
Yeah.
He's not the happiest of chaps.
He's going to
Get
pay
that
the bill. But I want to add to this that a whole generation of people is educated to be this way. Because, for instance, not only in school, but also in universities, and it seems like in several businesses, they are in a bubble that says essentially, let us not hurt your feelings in anything. They see everything as being inconsequential.
Well, I mean, if you could just go through life with your job not being that important, yeah. But she's not the only one that blew up. This one blew up. And this one's a bit more strange, which is that she mentions that all her coworkers have been getting calls saying, you're fired because you're not reaching expectations. And she decided to do a lot of pushback. It's 9 minutes. We're not going to play all that, obviously.
Right.
But I'm just going to play a little bit so you can get a flavor of the situation. So this is her saying she's waiting for the call, gets an invite.
Hey, Brittany.
Hi.
Yes, I'm so sorry. My name's Rosie. I'm just joining the call. Nice to meet you. I'm on the HR team.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi.
Thanks for meeting with me and Rosie. We have an important meeting today. We've finished our evaluations of 2023 performance. This is where you have not met Cloudflare expectations for performance. We've decided to part ways with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Sure.
So I started August 25th. I've been on a 3-month ramp, and then it was 3 weeks of December, and then a week of Christmas, and then here we are. I have had the highest activity amongst my team. Since I've started, I have had 3 contracts out, done a really great job managing my deals up until the very end that decided not to close last minute. So I don't think that makes a lot of sense for me in my Cloudflare journey here so far. Also, every single one-on-one I've had with my manager, every conversation I've had with him, he has been giving me nothing but I am doing a great job. I have had great activity. I have really great meetings. I'm picking up the products very quickly, and things have been going really, really well. I make really great relationships with my clients.
But they don't close.
I disagree that my performance hasn't been, I haven't met performance expectations when I certainly have, just because I haven't closed anything officially.
Yeah, and it goes on like that.
This is the problem with affirmation culture. So, oh no, you're wonderful, you're wonderful. No, she needs to be told the hard truth. No, you haven't got a single closure. You've been here for what, 3 months, 5 months, whatever she said it was. It's like, look, you have to, she's obviously in a sales position. You have to actually start making some sales. End of story.
The firing, I think, makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is, you cost X, what have we got in return? And if she hasn't closed a single sale, well, then they've got 0 in return for 3 months of investment in this person. And
They're just thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, this one blew up because she then goes on to talk about the fact that only HR turned up to fire her. None of her managers were there. So, don't know what's going on there. Which, whatever. I mean, that doesn't really seem to get to the nub of it. A lot of people think that this is also just a very bad idea to film yourself getting fired and talking to the person saying, I don't understand why I'm being fired.
I'm sure your next boss certainly won't look up your TikTok account.
Yeah, I mean, her name is now massively famous because of this. I mean, this is just a bot reposting this, for Christ's sake. I mean, this blew up massively. And there's a lot of conversation around it. But again, yeah, I mean, if you don't pay the way, then why would Cloudflare keep you? And this blew up so much, the Cloudflare CEO came out to respond to it. And when she just says, yeah, no, we were firing 40 of the salespeople out of the 1,500 because they don't meet our expectations. He then goes on to sort of say that, it's, it's uncomfortable because why is only HR involved, blah, blah, blah. Hard to tell what that's all about, frankly, because that's internal Cloudflare management, right? But unless the people running Cloudflare HR are really stupid, I find it hard to believe that she doesn't deserve to be let go. I mean, if you're in the bottom 40 out of 1,500 people doing sales,
and you fail to close a single sale,
it seems really unlikely that they messed up.
Yeah.
It seems more that this person didn't perform, and therefore, bye. And I hate to be that guy. Have you guys noticed a pattern?
Several ones.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can we say it?
I don't know. You tell me.
Can I mention the lack of penises in those being fired in all of the videos that have gone viral?
We can also narrow
every single one of them.
We can narrow it down as well. Attractive, middle class, well educated, mid-20s, late 20s. These are all a certain kind of woman,
but not streetwise.
No. Very
bubbly,
mollycoddled, we could say.
Yeah.
Dwellers of bubbles.
The product of affirmation culture turns out they don't work very hard.
But I'm going to be that guy. It's disproportionately female. It's disproportionately females.
Yeah, but it's disproportionately a kind of female.
Of course, that too. But there are types of females that do incredibly well. Like I did physics. You'll meet those types of females who go and do those subjects. But the types of females who are the average females are not physics.
And the sort of women who do well as Instagram influencers.
They're not coders. I do meetings, which okay, that's great if you can make it productive. That's fantastic. But if you're in the bottom 40 of 1,500 people doing sales, you didn't do well. I'm sorry, you presumably failed. Well, you did. They fired you. So there we are. And I'm just sick of not saying it. So I thought I'd say it because I did keep noticing it in all of the videos. And maybe there's a bias in there because it's obviously TikTok videos and people uploading endlessly their lives, which are kind of mundane because they don't do anything. But there we are. There were a lot of responses in this. I'm not going to include them for the sake of time, but there were some responses that were quite funny of women who work in retail who were just like, yeah, that's really cool that your day in the life does nothing. Here's the day in my life of working 2 jobs.
See, that's what I was trying to emphasize. Like these are the upper middle class, attractive, youthful, educated women who actually don't do any work. Yeah, they're not productive.
Like if we're looking at females in the tech industry, there's those who can code and are cool and obviously productive. There are like girl bosses who can be productive. And then there are these. And overwhelmingly these people are not men.
These seem like the sort of vanity employees.
Yeah.
I did it for me. It's all about me. Look at me. And it's like, okay, well, it's not really about you.
I mean, we haven't got snapshots of everyone who was fired from Twitch, but to be honest, I have my suspicions about the type of people who are employed to be vanity things. So
just to be clear, there are lots of women who are not like vanity employees. It's just these women aren't them.
There are also a lot of women that are.
Yeah.
So
the ones who aren't vanity employees don't get fired because they're working.
But anyway, that's all I'm trying to get at with that. But there we are. Although I did notice, finally, after all of these layoffs, 2 years of them, and 2 years of people being like, I do nothing all day and now I'm fired.
Turns out the Valley Girls weren't actually a core component of our business model.
Yeah. But if you go up and look Tech Day in My Life on TikTok, for example, you will notice there are videos of people doing that or getting fired or whatnot. And some of them are productive, some of them aren't. But what's interesting is the year, the date. You cannot find, oh God, go away, TikTok, modern date videos, so like 2024, of loads of women who are those influencer types who do nothing existing anymore. It seems they actually were purged from the rosters, which, I mean, after like a 35% cut in all of the tech industry's employees, not surprised. But there
girls most effective.
Yeah, that's the end of the tech vibes. The era is over. It's gone.
Oh no.
If you appreciated that episode from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content that's on the site, such as the Contemplation series and this episode on the wisdom of Chinese proverbs. If you'd like to find out what else is being put out, you can follow on Twitter at lotuseaters_com on Twitter. Thank you and goodbye.